Hi, I'm Loralee Stevens, owner of The Spot, a downtown Bowling Green fitness studio offering Pilates, yoga, TRX, spinning, and aerial yoga.
Okay, what is TRX?
TRX is suspension training. There's straps hung from the ceiling here. You can hang them from door frame or from your wall, but we have them from the ceiling. And it's basic squats, chest presses, bicep curls, planks that you're suspended, not 100%, that's aerial. TRX, you always are grounded to the floor with your hands, your feet, and you're holding the straps with your hands.
Okay, you also mentioned the silks. You have silks, you have TRX, but how did you get into this to begin with? I mean, where did you start?
How long do we have?
As long as you want.
Okay, in high school is when I started. It was at
Where'd you go to high school?
Barron County.
Okay, so are you from Glasgow?
I am from Monroe County.
Oh, okay.
Yes, which is a 60-mile hike
Okay.
to get to Bowling Green, but this is where the studio works.
Okay.
So this is why I'm
Perfect.
here. So what was the question again?
But how'd you get into it?
How did I get into it? Gotcha. High school, we had PE class, and elective was aerobics, the very first option that we ever had something like that. And I only knew aerobics to mean like cardio. I didn't know it was a verb, movement. And I loved it. Fell in love with step aerobics, traditional high-low kickboxing. So that started the footwork, or the groundwork. So when I graduated, my husband and I moved to Louisville. I was directing different fitness studios, the aerobic side, and worked at all the YMCAs there. And then when I came back, I got hired to manage a new fitness facility in Glasgow. The owner allowed me to purchase reformers, which are Pilates equipment. So I went to get trained to teach those, and people started coming from Bowling Green to take those classes. So one thing led to another. I realized there wasn't a Pilates studio in Bowling Green. Figured it was time that there was one, and that was 11 years ago, I think.
Oh, cool. Okay.
So that's how it all started.
Now, did you go to college in between that high school class?
I went to a year or two.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. And then you moved to Louisville. And then, okay. So how did you pick this spot here? Because we're in the Spot. This used to be, we worked with LeBold & Sons, and then before that it was Spot Cash. An old building is now this.
Very old. We totally transformed it. Do you want to walk?
Yeah, sure, we can
around?
walk.
Okay.
I'll let you know if there's any lighting issues, but
Gotcha. So we added, this whole wall is new. If not, it would open all the way out. Zest is a tenant next door, and we added this wall. But other than that, locals that have been here, LeBold & Sons or Spot Cash, it would have all been one open space.
okay.
And we pulled all the ceiling down, so drywall, whatever was up there, and against the brick, we pulled all the plaster off to expose the brick. So how we got to this ginormous space, the first place was maybe 500 square feet.
Okay.
I can't remember, maybe 3 reformers, 3 of all the pieces.
Okay.
And after 4 or 5 years, we outgrew that. I went out on my own, opened my own studio, which was 1,500 square feet.
Okay.
Quickly, we outgrew that space. We added TRX when we were at that location.
Where was that
Online
location?
Pilates.
Okay.
On
Okay.
Fairview Avenue.
Okay.
So I guess 2011 maybe we added TRX because it was a good combination. Pilates is core, total body. TRX
Okay.
is the same thought. So mindful movement is what we offer.
Okay.
And when the lease was up, it was time to buy my own place and
Okay.
not just throw money out the window, I guess.
Sure,
And
sure.
start to build some equity and all that. So in between that, I was contacted by a local yoga studio
Okay.
that they were impressed with the business practices I had and this, that, and the other. And I ended up purchasing that studio.
Okay.
So I needed more space for yoga. So that's how yoga came in.
Okay.
So it was Pilates, TRX, and now yoga. So we needed a space big enough to house all that, and then hopefully growing as we continue to grow.
Okay.
So that's why we're here. This whole space is probably about 3,200 square feet that we're in now.
Okay. And you also have the downstairs, which we're not going to go down there because that's kind of creepy
You want
sometimes.
a spin bike, and you don't want that, do you?
No,
so we
no,
have
I don't
spinning now
Okay.
in the basement, and the basement's about 1,200 square feet.
Yeah, and that's new to Bowling Green as well.
Yes. A spin studio is new.
Yes.
The local fitness studios,
Sure.
places have those. But we're the first in town that's more of a smaller setting, more intimate, a boutique style studio.
Okay. And then I'm jumping around a little bit here. And before you did the fitness and everything else, did you have any other jobs growing up as a kid?
I was a lifeguard.
Okay.
That was maybe my first job, was a lifeguard.
How old were you then?
16.
Okay.
So I think you had to be 16 to actually be a lifeguard. And when my husband and I got married, circa 1992, I think. I'm bad with numbers.
That's all right.
Unless it's up to 10 reps. No, just kidding. I worked at a nursing facility. I was there, not human resources, but inventory person.
And does that kind of help you with running a business now, you think?
Well, possibly.
Okay.
But I've always taught aerobics or whatever from day one. Since 1993, I was teaching. Whatever there was to teach, I would go get a training to teach it. Personal training certification, spinning certification, regular aerobics, whatever. So managing a kind of big box fitness club, you have to offer what's new and current to keep people coming back, basically.
Okay.
So whatever was new and kind of the fad, that's what we had. We'd have to offer. So then I would go and get trained, because if my staff couldn't teach it, this is the person that has to step in and teach a class.
And because you're in a field that's constantly evolving and adding stuff, what do you do to kind of keep ahead of the game?
Well, when I travel, I always go to similar studios, small boutique studios, since we opened about 11 years ago, to see what else is going on in bigger cities, Chicago, Las Vegas, Miami, wherever. And that's kind of how it started. I mean, spinning's been around forever. I think I've been teaching on and off for over 20 years.
Okay.
But it kind of took a lull there, and then it's kind of come back with the big studios. Your Soul Cycle, it's probably the biggest one that people know about. That started the whole revolution again. So things kind of come full circle, like clothes come full circle. They come back around again, typically.
And who's coming to the spot right now?
Everybody. We have little kids.
Sure.
How old is Sarah?
She's 8.
8. So 8 years old. I think our oldest is maybe 75, 78.
And you got people younger than Sarah.
And then we have everywhere in the middle. And we do have bring your baby to yoga class.
Okay.
So we have infants too. So male, female.
So you have all these things that you offer here. What's your favorite?
Well, Pilates is my love. That's where...
Why?
So I was personal training for years. I kind of got bored with having people stand and do bicep curls, which there's tons of different ways you can do a bicep curl, but a bicep curl is a bicep curl. And I liked teaching people more and educating so that they could walk away and use that for their other activities, and Pilates kind of is that, and there's hundreds and hundreds of exercises. So I'm always on my toes, and it keeps me fresh, and creativity is always there.
Is there anything you don't like?
Anything I don't like?
Like, is there anything in this whole building that you've created?
Of course not. Of course.
There's nothing you dread.
No, I'm not super cardiovascular person.
Okay.
I have done many triathlons. I've done 10Ks, all that kind of stuff, just because I wanted to be able to do it.
Okay.
So I'm sort of competitive in that way.
Okay.
I want to make sure I can all of a sudden pop out and maybe run for a mile or so.
Okay.
Not that it's easy. I did it first time yesterday in 4 years. It was not easy, but I did it still.
It's still a little warm.
So like within this space though, there's not a whole lot of cardio.
Okay.
It's both strength training. Spinning is cardio.
Yeah.
For sure. It's the only cardio, quote unquote cardio component that we have. Everything else is strength training. We perspire and sweat for sure.
Sure.
But you can still breathe really easy. You don't have to take the perceived exertion talk test.
Okay.
With Pilates or yoga or TRX, maybe TRX, but an aerial.
Who inspires you in your business? Like, who do you get an inspiration from? Is it someone celebrity? Is it someone family? Is it someone in the industry?
God, that's a tough question. That's a tough question.
We can come back to it.
I guess going back to before, when I travel and see what bigger cities do, I guess I try to maybe aspire to being better and better and better and better with whatever we do. The group of staff that I have, they're amazing, and to see them continue to improve and gain popularity within the studio with getting more clients, more classes, filling up their classes. I mean, that inspires me to continue myself and never stop learning. So I'm always going to workshops and whatever I can get my hands on and learn more.
And you do have a staff, your staff's really involved here. It's not the Loralee show. It's
not at all.
You
As
really
we
give them
grow,
free rein.
it's becoming less and less, so I can step back and maybe even take a class or two now, which is lovely.
Okay. And then is there, and you still live in Monroe County, right?
I do.
And you still drive?
Yes, an hour door to door.
How is that?
It's good. It's my little time to decompress, I guess. Think about how the day went. Think of how I need to change to make tomorrow better.
Okay.
What other programs, different class formats. So I'm thinking in the car.
And then with that, I have a question as someone who lives in Bowling Green, deals with Bowling Green businesses, as someone who's from obviously a smaller county that feeds into Bowling Green, what's something you've liked about starting a Bowling Green business and seeing other Bowling Green businesses that you may have learned from that you may not have had in Monroe County?
I'm not sure. Just seeing the town grow, like Bowling Green has grown exponentially, and seeing more of the healthier businesses open, and food places now that offer healthier
Well, you got
variations.
Zest next door.
And then of course Zest next door. And those businesses, we kind of, and the downtown businesses too, we kind of all work together to help each other out in the way of promoting each other.
Do you think this kind of profession, being in the health and everything, is it benefited being, it may not be the students that are on campus, but all the young professionals who've left campus, being in a college town? Does that kind of help these studios? You've seen bigger markets, smaller towns, college towns. Is this kind of that market that does well with these?
Yeah, I think so, very much. We've had more and more, since we moved downtown, we've gained, I guess, access, which we've always been in town, but being so close to Western, we've definitely picked up a lot more university students and staff. And
what's the difference you've seen just in the move? Because, I mean, a lot of people are always afraid to move downtown, afraid that people aren't going to show up. I mean, what was your experience with the move?
My experience was it was the best business decision I've made since I opened over 11 years ago. I was very nervous. I didn't know that I could sustain such a large space, but it's been great. We've increased our male customers, clients, exponentially since we moved.
Why is that?
Overall, I'm not sure. Some people tell me it's the space itself is more inviting than more of a vanilla box kind of space.
Okay.
That it's just different. They come in and the environment here is a little bit different because it's larger, higher
it's more
ceilings,
industrial,
and it's just more inviting. I hear. But I think that's probably oddly part of it is the space.
Okay.
Is so much larger and doesn't make you feel as claustrophobic, maybe?
Okay.
I'm not sure. And just constant passersby is amazing to see that we're not necessarily just a destination spot now.
Okay.
People will pass us and see that we're here. Before that, they maybe didn't know.
And is there still in this industry, I mean, a little push of getting men in here? I mean, is there that issue at all still?
Oh, for sure. Even though Pilates was created by a man, Joseph Pilates.
Okay.
It's become a female dominant for some reason. I guess a lot of the celebrities do it, which are mainly females initially years ago, but now you have professional athletes that do it all the time, and they're very vocal about it, which has helped. In your yoga, very often you'll have more men in a class than women in most of our classes. So for some reason, men feel more open to take a yoga class.
Is that because of time? Yoga's been around a while.
It has. Maybe just that reason. It's more of a household name maybe than Pilates still, possibly.
But you get a lot of men who do TRX.
We do. Most of our male clientele, though, do privates more than they are in a
Okay.
class setting. Outside of yoga. I mean, yoga, there'll be a handful in each class.
Okay.
In Pilates, we do have some men-specific classes.
Okay. What's the future of this industry that you see coming down the pike? Is there anything that you are thinking that might be the type of classes that will lean towards, or?
I think I keep saying Pilates because the others are modes that people know of. They're
Sure.
more familiar with spinning, with yoga.
Mm-hmm.
Even TRX, the movement patterning is very similar to your basic calisthenics. But for the Pilates world, I think it's coming around to try to make it more accessible to
Okay.
everybody. I think there's a connotation that it's only for people of wealth, but it's definitely not. We have price points that make it affordable for almost anyone. It's all about prioritizing too.
And you do have the kids class. Is it also about getting kids in younger? Because, it tends to be everyone throws their kid in a sport, but this is a way they can be active without
Right.
having to be in an organized sport or anything.
True, and as they get older, it'll make whatever sport maybe they've chosen to do, they'll be stronger in that sport, less prone to injury. It's great for stress too. Kids that have kind of learning disorders, issues, yoga is
Okay.
great for that, to kind of ground them and get them focused.
Okay.
We found a lot with ADHD, autistic kids. Yoga's great because it gets them focused on a task at hand. And it helps sleeping, it helps everything. So getting them moving in a more focused, kind of meditative type movement, I think is great for kids too.
Well, you have a lot of time driving and everything, so do you have any hobbies?
Driving.
Is that your hobby now?
It is. No, the lake. We actually just took the staff to the lake. We go to Del Hollow Lake.
Okay.
It's our family
So you
thing.
do a lot of boating?
We do.
Is it
I'm
just
still
Del
sore
Hollow?
from wakeboarding from
Okay.
Sunday when we took the staff down.
Okay, because we, the week prior to when this one will be out, Will Perkins, he's all about camping around the area. Is there a lake that you like more than others?
We go to Del Hollow. That's where our
Okay.
watercrafts stay. So that's where we go. And it's close to our house. It's about 30, 45 minutes from our house.
And you have 2 kids, right?
We do.
And they both went to high school at the end of their high school career here at Western, right?
Yes, they went to the Gatton Academy.
And how was that as a parent? I asked you about having your kid go up to Western
Yeah.
2 years earlier. How was that?
It was perfect for our kids because that was the next step they need to grow.
Okay.
For us to hold them back at that point, because
Yeah.
we were selfish, wanted them home, it would have been a disservice to them. So even though it's hard sometimes, and we're empty nesters now, and
Yeah.
I'm not young, but
And
I'm not
wait,
really old either. It's kind of
So you are an
strange.
empty nester, but how
Yes.
old's your son?
He is 16. It was
Okay.
17 in a
So
week.
you're a premature empty nester.
Yes. Yeah.
And so did they do the Super Saturdays and all that kind of stuff?
The oldest did not. She wasn't aware
Okay.
of really any of that.
Okay.
It was actually a client that's still been with me for 11 years that informed us about the Gatton Academy. If it wasn't
Okay.
for that, I don't know that we would have known, because at first some of the school systems weren't as
Active on
active
yeah.
promoting and recruiting because no one knew really what it was.
Yeah.
I think she was the third graduating class maybe.
Okay.
So if it wasn't for a client, if I hadn't have been working down here, chances are that would have never happened because we probably wouldn't have known about it that early.
But your son did like Super Saturdays and Vampy.
He did some Super Saturdays. He never
Okay.
did Vampy, but he
Okay.
did do Super Saturdays
Okay.
pretty consistently.
Yeah, anytime we can promote them, I like to try
Yeah.
to promote them because
Yeah,
I don't
it's
think enough people know about
great.
them.
No.
Well, what do you want to know from people in Bowling Green?
wanna
Sometimes
know.
people comment and they,
Yeah.
what do you want to know? What might be holding them back, or what you?
Well, I guess just that. Like, why have you not been in yet?
Okay.
And what is it that we could do on our end to make it more accessible to you,
Okay.
or to get you in the door to try out a class, I guess.
That's
I'm just
awesome.
always curious what, as a business owner, works or doesn't work in getting new faces in the door.
That was awesome. Thank you, Loralee.
Thank you.